Hello, Galaxy! I'm Chris Perillo for Star Wars Radar. I first have to say that I have now signed up for several social accounts, so if you follow Star Wars Radar on Twitter, you can now also follow Star Wars Radar on Periscope, on Facebook. I set up a page as well as a group. The hope is that people will submit their own discoveries, and we can grow the community together there on Facebook. I've also set up Star Wars Radar on Instagram, and yes, on YouTube. So, now that I've said that, now that I've mentioned that it is Star Wars Radar, you may have been familiar with the old handle Star Wars Series on Twitter. And I went with Star Wars Radar because I think it is more fitting for the type of person I am and what I hope to do for the community, that is promote cross-discovery of Star Wars stuff. And speaking of Star Wars stuff, I have a box that was sent to me by Hasbro. It says, Star Wars Forces of Destiny. What could be inside? The Star Wars Forces of Destiny figures. I'm going to assume I love the box art. These are some of my favorite boxes to get because you can't get them anywhere. So I'm going to be holding on to the box permanently. There's an Imperial Walker. It won't go on that shelf behind me. I don't think it'll fit. And then we have that side there. It's a wonderful little box. Ah! Hopefully nothing broke. Okay, let's go ahead and tear into the box. I think I have my unboxing tool right here. And as I slice through the tape, trying to be as careful as I can. Because, again, I would like to save the box for posterity. Ooh! I'm easily impressed. Look at that. Inside. If only all boxes looked like this. Look at that. That's so cool. Here we go. Star Wars Forces of Destiny. You've likely seen these figures before. And yes, I would consider them figures. Multiple points of articulation across a range of female heroes. And they also will be releasing a Luke Skywalker, a Chewbacca. I'm hoping for a Darth Vader. I would love to see a Darth Vader Forces of Destiny. But anyway, this is kind of describing more about the Forces of Destiny. The cartoons are very short, which is perfect for our daughter, Jedi, who doesn't really pay attention to anything past 15 minutes. Maybe 5 minutes if you're lucky. Or 15 minutes if you're lucky. 5 minutes and you're doing well. So the Forces of Destiny cartoons are very, very short, very brief. Keep her attention, and the nice thing is they can show my daughter that she can be more than just a quote-unquote princess. So here we have Rey with the staff and her knapsack. There is another Rey that comes with a BB-8 and a lightsaber, her lightsaber now, and that's the one that I have already picked up. This is one that was sent to me. We will likely be removing this from the packaging at some point in the future, but I'll be getting into why I think that you may want to wait until your child is a little older and potentially more responsible with their toys. I mean, toys weren't really meant to be lost, but effectively, it's the same Rey with a different outfit. Now that is sharply contrasted with, here we go, a Leia from Endor with a nice flocked Ewok, Wicket. This Leia also comes with a dress that the Ewoks made her, and what's really cool is, A, we already have one, B, one of the Forces of Destiny cartoons actually features how Leia got her dress from the Ewoks, or when she got the dress from the Ewoks, which I think is pretty outstanding. All those Forces of Destiny cartoons, by the way, are canon. So this is the Leia in her Endor gear there, the same Leia that I have in my hand. Now, one of the issues that I had immediately, and I wouldn't even say it's a glaring issue, but speaking to the age of a child who may have this, is specifically because some of these figures come with pieces that were just designed to be lost. Leia, I'm very happy to have removed her sandals. Her sandals may eventually come back, but right now our daughter is able to play with Leia without necessarily having all of her accessories. Not that she would need much beyond her sandals. The feet, by the way, this is another interesting point where I feel these are more like figures, and I apologize for the brightness and contrast of this live broadcast, but there's not much I can do to control the tool. They're flat, so you can actually stand these up on their own, and I've never seen a quote-unquote doll work that way, and I'm not sure there's too much of a difference between a doll and an action figure. Okay, she's not going to stand very well in my hand, but this is the same Leia. There is another Leia out there, and what would set her apart from this Leia is probably beyond her gear, her hairstyle. There's not much you can do with the hair of the Forces of Destiny figures, and I'm okay with that. I was never personally much of a fan with different hairstyles. I was fine with hard plastic, but I can understand the value of having that. I think it would have been interesting, or more interesting, for them to just produce one Leia, which I realize would be disappointing for collectors. One Leia where you could, have her hair in a variety of ways, in another capacity potentially, not with this type of hair. It's hair. That's not plastic, or at least outright. It's probably some kind of a nylon type of material. This Leia, like the Leia from Endor, comes with a separate character, this one being R2-D2. She also has the blaster. And some of these characters have an action. This Leia does not. This Leia apparently does, where you squeeze the legs and something happens. So Resistance Rey, she kind of swivels a bit. Not much. There we go. Kind of have to swivel her the right way. There's also a Sabine. Now, this Sabine also has an action, like her arm swings down. I think out of all the Forces of Destiny characters, I think Sabine is easily my favorite. One, I'm a huge fan of Mandalorians. Two, I like the fact that she does have a helmet, which I can't find. A big piece I can't find. But this Sabine also has the same kind of hair, colored hair. I had to remove, in case you're wondering, a lot of the small pieces from Sabine. Sabine is probably my favorite, but also the least friendly for children. Look at how many pieces I had to remove, like from arm pads and knee pads. I'm just afraid that they're going to effectively get lost, as our daughter is about to turn 3 years old. And yes, her name is Jedi. So Sabine has an action as well. She comes with a couple of weapons, the holster, etc., but I stripped her down for Jedi to be able to play with. And I think out of all of them, she likes Leia, but I think she prefers Sabine more than any of the characters. She really enjoys watching Star Wars Rebels. She knows the episodes mostly by heart. Sometimes she can predict a line before it is actually stated. So I have to thank Hasbro for sending these along. It's really nice to have a spare, just in case Jedi loses a piece, or to have that Leia in this gear, as she has another Leia dressed like that, as well as this Leia and R2-D2, which we did not formerly have, and this Rey to complement this Rey, because I asked Jedi in the store, I'm like, which one do you want? You have to choose which one. And she chose the Rey with BB-8, because BB-8 came with this Resistance Rey. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. As I mentioned, Star Wars Series on Twitter is now at Star Wars Radar. Follow, share, interact. I'm here to accelerate the Star Wars community. I'm a fellow fan like you. Keep it friendly. That's kind of what the bottom line is for me. You can follow Star Wars Radar on Instagram, Star Wars Radar on Facebook, the group and the page, and Star Wars Radar on YouTube. I think I've mentioned all of them. Most of them. I pretty much have Star Wars Radar on every platform, but it's more for you than it is for me. So thank you for tuning in. I hope to do more of these videos in the future across the community wherever we can connect. Feel free to ask questions anytime. Happy to interact. Happy to do an AMA about Star Wars just about any day of the week. So let me see if I can remember how to stop this. Swipe down to stop. That's how I do it. May the Force be with you.